welcome back to my channel. It's me, ER, and for today's weekly spread, I have this opened. This is the February first week of this planner from MAMBI. This is the rose gold planner. I'm not sure what the name of the planner is. Let's see. If I could find it, I'm going to link it down below. But I recently joined a group on Facebook. It's a local group of people who use ring planners, and most of them use MAMBI as well. And we have like a prompt for this week. It's kind of like a challenge that we need to use pink things on our planner, and we're not allowed to use sticker kits. So I found that very challenging at first, and then I went back to my roots, and I know that I like working with watercolor. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to put watercolor in this page. So I have my handy dandy Prang watercolor here. I have a palette, a few brushes. I have a general idea of what I have to do or what I want to do, but I haven't tried it yet. I've seen a few YouTube channels for inspiration, but I'm going to do this in my own pace, so I'm not going to be able to talk to you guys as much in this video. I might speed the video up, or I might talk using narration, but I'm not sure yet. But this is something that's unique, and I want to try it in this channel, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. So yes, I'm going to show you guys the general things that I'm planning to use. So first things first, I want to use watercolor. I have this basic Prang watercolor set. I have a few brushes with me. I might use some washi tape since this is a pink theme. So my general colors that I want to use would be different shades of pink, a few metallic golds, and maybe whites or black. I'm not sure yet. This kit, this spread will be inspired by using this stamp set by Rosie Studio, especially this one, since February is Love Month, since it is Valentine's. But so yeah, I might use these ones. So this is definitely inspiring the entire page, so it's more of like a bohemian theme, lace and things like that. So that's basically what I know that I'm gonna do, but other than that, I'm just gonna wing it. So I have a few templates here. I'm also gonna be using a lot of pens. So I have my stash of colored pens here. I have my brushes here, brush pens also. But whatever I put in this video, I might put a link down below if I could find it for you guys, in case you're wondering. If you have questions, just comment it down below. And I think I'm also going to be using some of these KI Memories stamp sets, and maybe these Martha Stewart ones. I had this for a long time from making scrapbooks before. And I have a bunch of stickers which are from different brands here. So these are not kits, but these are like sticker books from Rosie Studio. This one I got from a box. And yeah, so I'm just gonna try and do this and follow along with me. And I'm gonna start with just ripping this page out. I'm very lucky because these are actually pinks in this spread, but also a little bit nervous because that means I'm not going to be able to redo it if it doesn't work out. This is a challenge. There's prizes, I think, but if I don't win, I really don't mind. I just like that we got to use a different prompt this week, and I like challenges, and so yeah. Alright, so I'm going to set my planner aside. This is the first time that I'm going to plan without the pages on the rings, but I think that's necessary for this one. So let's get started!
Alright, so I started with mixing the different shades of pink that I'm going to be using to watercolor on the pages. I just added a little bit of red to the different pans on the palette and made sure that it goes from dark to light. So I also added a little bit of white to that mixture just so that I could create an ombre effect that I could actually put on the pages. Now I also added a washi tape along the sides of the page, and I just used my paintbrush with the water and just brushed along the side towards the center. I wanted to be able to see the brush strokes, so I didn't want it to be perfect. I like the look of just abstract brush strokes all over the page. So as you can see, it goes from the darkest shade to the lightest shade. I didn't want it to overpower the page, so I made sure that the shades of pink that I used were very minimal and very light. So I also did the same thing on the other side of the page. After that, all I had to do was take off the washi tape. You could also use a masking tape, but I prefer using washi tape just because it doesn't really tear up the paper. So once your watercolor is dry, or drying rather, I actually added the splatter of the watercolor just to create a different effect on the page. So I just tapped my brush on my fingers and that's how it looks like. Now using stamps, this one is from Rosy Studio. I think this is an Australian brand. I got my acrylic block and different shades of pink ink from Close to My Heart that I got from Claudia, I think. Hi Claudia, if you're still watching. She sent this to me from the States. But I just chose different colors of pink and thought of what I would use to the page, but I ended up using the first one because it's a little bit more dark than the rest of the pink, so I just did that and put that on the corner in the top part of the page. I also wanted to add feathers at the bottom, so I used a paper to cover the sides and stamped the rest of the stamp on there as well. I also added more stamped images along the page. Now this is my favorite part. I had this poster color metallic gold paint for a while now. As you can see, it lasted me for years and it's so good. It's by the brand called Reeves. And I just wanted to use Martha Stewart's stamps and wanted to create a pattern along the boxes. I forgot from which I saw this, but I'm going to put the channel link below because I've seen this technique done before using stamps and stamp pads, but this time I thought maybe I should use the poster paint. The imprint is definitely not perfect because I used a little bit of water just so that I could use the dried up paint. But it looked great after stamping the pattern, so I enjoyed doing this and I might do more of this on the different spreads that I do in the future. After that, I just needed to get the washi tape, and as you can see, you could get a clean pattern on your boxes if you like that look. I also wanted to make a flower at the bottom, but it didn't end up really quite well, so I just ended up stamping an outline and using my brush to actually brush in some details on the flower. I like using watercolor, so this is kind of therapeutic for me. I just made this into something that I never actually thought of doing before I started this project, but it turned out quite good, I think. So I added some leaves, gold leaves as well, using just my brush. It's a really easy way to add detail to your pages. After that, I couldn't really get over the gold, so I added more on the heart on this design with the feathers as well. And I also did a crazy thing, I think so, by using this, I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. But I use glitter, like foiled tattoos, the body tattoos that are, removable. I use that on my page. I used to do this when I was doing scrapbook before, but now I thought of using it on a page and it actually worked. I just rubbed water at the back like you would if you would put this on your arm. But yeah, so it easily came off from the page. It didn't really warp my paper at all. It was fun, so I actually added another one because I really had fun using that. I'm definitely going to use more of this instead of stickers on my page later on if I do like the foil. I really love how it looks. And then I also added paper since I couldn't use a sticker kit for this challenge. So yeah, I used just floral paper that I got. This one I think is by Rosy Studio as well. But I just used my planner and measured it out to 1.5 by 2.5 inches, I think, to make the boxes, and I just added that to the page using glue. This one is just regular school glue. I also added washi tape after those, so as you can see, I started with watercolor, and then I added some stamps, and then I layered some paper, and now washi tape. Just so that I could layer some more stickers later on. I think the technique that I learned from this is layering and thinking about what you want to put on your page first so that you don't have to lift anything up later on. As you can see, I'm struggling right here, so I ended up using my scissors instead. But this is a trial and error, so at first I couldn't decide where the stickers would go until I figured it out, so I took my time. I actually ended up finishing the spread in the evening instead of in the afternoon when I started. And here, as you can see, I'm looking at the sticker sheets, and I wanted to use a teal color so that I could use it on the spread, but I ended up taking that off later on because I didn't really like how it looked on the page. I added more stickers from this sticker pad from Rosie Studios. This took me a while to decide which stickers to use, which I find funny because I used to just use stickers all over my planner. But now that I'm out of my comfort zone, it made me think more. But eventually, I think by doing this technique more often, I would probably just get used to it. I added more foiled stickers on here because I love the look of gold. I also added elements of black to the spread because I know that I will be using black pen to fill up the pages. So I love this geometric heart from the Rosie Studio as well. I think a lot of the things that I bought were from Rosie Studio. This is from a local shop called National Bookstore if you live in the Philippines. Last year they released a bunch of scrapbooking and journaling materials, so you could probably check that out. Here I realized that the blue wasn't really working well with the spread, so I just took those off. Now I'm just choosing some pink pens so that I could label my days. As you can see here, I was picking out different shades of pink. I know, crazy, but there's a lot of different shades of pink, and I ended up with this one because it's a little bit more dark than the ones that I have. So I just wrote today on the pages, and I wanted to add a script font on top of that. So I wanted it to be more bold since the marker is a little fine. So I added that, and I'm using this Pilot Maica pen. I'm gonna put the descriptions down below of the things that I used in this spread as well. On the other side, I actually decided to use a different pen. I think instead of using both Stabilo and Faber Castell, this one is just using Faber. And then I'm also adding the Today in script font as well. Now with the weekend, I used a different color of Stabilo. It's more of like a coral pink. I'm gonna write weekend and then again overlay with weekend that's in script. I have this template that had a square box in there. This is actually from my cousin. She is using this on her art projects, and I thought maybe I could borrow it for this spread, so I did, and I loved it because it's the perfect square size for the boxes that I'm using. And since I couldn't use sticker kits, I decided to do away with the heart checklists and check stickers, so I just drew the hearts on there later on. But right here I'm actually using the same shape but in a smaller form from the template to accentuate the box there because I thought it was pretty bold, as you can see on the name. So I wanted to add more black elements to the spread, so I decided to doodle some of those, and I just used a template and just wrote squiggly lines, or rather straight lines across or diagonal lines across the design. So just to add a little bit of bullet journaling techniques on the pages. Now I just wanted to add hearts since I couldn't use heart checklists in the spread, so I thought this was pretty cute and I might do this more often on my future spread. And that is it for the spread.
Alright you guys, so I think this is it for the spread. I am in love with how it looks like now. This just goes to show you guys that you don't have to have a sticker kit in order for you to plan in this type of planner. Just use your creativity. So now I'm just going to put this in to my spread, or I mean my planner here in February. This is again the MAMBI planner. It's the Happy Planner in Classic Vertical layout, and I am so in love with how it looks like. I don't know if I could show you guys in full frame, but I'm going to show you a close-up in a little bit. But that is it for this week's plan with me. If you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell for you to see my newest videos in the future. So thank you guys for watching, and I enjoyed sharing this with you guys. I'm going to see you next time. Bye!